Eh bien, salut à tous les amis, c'est loul5100 et on se retrouve pour un 26e épisode de Baldur'S Gate 3 en roleplay. On continue les aventures de Loulhin Cul de Chêne. Alors, on s'est débarrassé de Néré l'éveillé dans les profondeurs, dans la petite forteresse du Hergard. On a bien fait le ménage. Et là, j'aimerais continuer de fouiller. Il y a une forge pas loin et puis beaucoup de surprises nous attendent.
Alors Gay, là, quand on est venu ici, on s'est dit que ça serait mieux si t'étais là quand même. Hein. Parce que, tu vois là-bas, il y a la forge, mais ça a l'air là, assez costaud quand même. Hein. Je sais pas, l'ambiance, l'atmosphère, il y a quelque chose. Hein. Voilà, comme ici. Par là, on dirait qu'il y a quelque chose en face, c'est bizarre là. Ma foi. Regarde. Oh, un moule d'armure lourde. Une note gribouillée. Parchemin d'éclair. Bon, là, c'est fait. Allez, on y va. Allez, allez, on y va. Attendez, laissez-moi passer devant parce que je le sens pas là. C'est trop calme. Des méfites magmatiques, prenez vos armes. On doit se débarrasser de ces diablotins de merde. Et il faut mal en plus. Ouf. Ok, ça pue. C'est pas vrai. Ok. Ok. Allez, 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 allez. Oh, vite, vite, vite. Ombre cale, ombre cale. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Il se passe quelque chose là. Oui. Bon, venez. Ça doit valoir le coup quand même de venir là. Ah, des pas de chemin de partout. Un élixir de résistance au feu, bah ça aurait été utile avant ça. Registre le 500 les fidèles recrutés par son auguste paladin Kittericton. Page après page, une interminable liste de noms noircis le papier. Certains ne sont que des surnoms, d'autres de longs titres de noblesse, mais tous sont layés et accompagnés de la mention terminée. Ok, d'accord, d'accord. Et là, il y a un filon, quoi. Bougez pas, j'ai un pic. J'ai même un pic qui est épique. Ah, voilà, ça. Creusefond. Voilà. Là, on en a eu du minerai de mitra, là. C'est pas beau, ça, les copains? Bon, attendez, moi, j'arrive. Ah, vu comme ça nous a fait chier ces bestioles, autant récupérer tout ce qu'il y a, hein. Ah, venez, on va descendre hein, à la forge d'adamantium. Allez, venez.
This must be the forge. What a sight to behold.
Et vous savez quoi, les amis? Moi, je serais pour qu'on trouve d'autres moules, qu'on se fasse plus de mitral d'adamantium et qu'on revienne à cette forge. Et là, on pourra faire les choses correctement. Donc, vous en pensez quoi? Du matériel, il doit y en avoir encore. Hein. Surtout qu'on avait trouvé le mont de charge pour échapper à cet endroit de l'enfer. Et regardez, ça c'est pas un moule? Une armure d'écaille. Et dire que j'ai failli passer à côté de ça. Enfin, que nous avons failli passer à côté de ça. Et j'ai l'impression qu'on n'a pas fait entièrement le tour de tout ce qui pouvait nous être proposé dans cet endroit démoniaque. C'est quoi en face? De l'adamantium?
Let's get this over with.
Et je vais prendre mon gros marteau.
That might be worth a look.
T'as trouvé un trésor, l'homme cœur? Ah, on a beaucoup de choses, hein. Alors, je vais envoyer deux trois trucs au camp quand même, hein. Attendez. Il y a quelque chose pas loin. On doit le retrouver, une amulette perdue. Je l'avais complètement oublié, celle-là. Ça doit être en bas. Ah, on verra ça plus tard, hein. Allez. Allons voyager. Alors, si vous vous rappelez en plus, il y a un endroit qu'on n'a pas visité dans le coin. Maintenant qu'on s'est débarrassé de tous ces duelgars, regardez-moi ça. Les duelgars, j'ai fait du tartare. Les rôtés, j'ai fait du pâté. Ah ben voilà, un petit doloté. Ah, du bon pâté. Et je pense qu'une fois qu'on aura fait le tour ici, on pourra prendre le mont de charge. En même temps, on dirait qu'il y a des trucs par là-bas, hein. Venez. Venez, compagnons. C'est ici qu'on n'a pas fouillé. Des arbalètes. Des arbalètes. Ils étaient prêts à faire la guerre, hein. Vous vous rappelez, c'est ici qu'on s'est débarrassé du petit œil, là. Ouais, je vais pas tout lire, là. J'ai la flemme. Alors, voyons voir, là. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a dans le coin? Peut-être un trésor se cache par là. Qu'est-ce que je disais?
Step carefully.
Il faut le désamorcer, c'est un piège. Astalion. Oui, j'arrive. Et voilà, oui. Ah, je vais vous désamorcer ça. C'est bon, tu peux venir l'ouvrir, Loulhin.
Never believe this.
Ah, mais non, je peux pas venir l'ouvrir, tu l'as pas clocheté. Je sais, c'est une blague.
Simple. No one's stopped me yet.
Il y a quoi là-dedans? Un bouclier d'étincelles, un pas de chemin, un outil de voleur. L'outil de voleur, je te le donnerai. Allez, allons prendre ce monte-charge. Je crois qu'il n'y a rien d'autre dans le coin. En plus, on pourra se téléporter à la forge quand on voudra. Et comme ça, on ira chercher l'amulette plus tard aussi. C'est des choses qui plaisent pas trop. Il n'y avait rien de ce côté. Non, il n'y a rien. C'est quoi ces escaliers en bas là? Étrange. J'ai vraiment la sale impression d'effleurer la surface juste ici. Allez, on y va. Les deux qu'il y avait juste ici s'en étaient débarrassés ou... Ah mais non. Ah bah, on va s'en débarrasser.
What now?
Astarion, qu'est-ce que tu dirais d'une petite attaque sournoise? Tu peux pas.
What now?
Bon allez, toi, je te démonte ta gueule. Coucou.
You attacked someone. Only the guards are allowed to do that, as this one is about to demonstrate.
Non, non, j'étais bien attaqué. Et tu commences à me faire chier, toi. On arrête d'esquiver maintenant. J'ai dit quoi? J'ai dit on arrête. Et tu pètes les noix.
To focus.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a fait, ce con?
Death can't have me. Not yet. One can't always be a gentleman.
Une nappe de brouillard, ça marche pas sur le... Ah, tu l'as soigné, espèce de sale petite garce. Voilà, tu vas en manger dans ta gueule là. Moi aussi je sais soigner les copains. Hein.
sorcery.
Tu vas arrêter de te soigner, toi? Voilà, allez, une en moins. Donc je soigne un petit peu.
Please help me.
Décidément, il t'en veut, Gaël. Hein. Oh putain, il en veut à tout le monde. Allez, vite, vite, on les réanime, on les réanime. On aura besoin d'un golo de peau, hein. Ah, c'est champignons poulis, pour que je ramasse ça, moi. L'arc. Une carte classeuse. Ah, des outils de voleur, là. Allez, venez. On a bien bataillé, on a bien nettoyé cette zone. Moi, ce que je vous propose, c'est qu'on prenne le monte-charge et qu'on voit où ça nous amène. Là, on est sûr, il n'y a plus un dieu égal dans cette forteresse. Allez, on prend le monte-charge. Je veux sortir de ce téléphone.
Hell's fire. She's coming.
Et c'est qui ça?
Well, you've been naughty, and you know what happens when you're naughty.
Et... Qui êtes-vous par tous les diables là?
Well, you absolute stinker! You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
Et si nous tuons Carlache maintenant, serons-nous débarrassés de vous? Hein?
Now, too late, Flower. You'll never be rid of me.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade. Keep an eye on him, will you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Oh ben ça alors, si je m'y attendais. Un sacré bordel. Oh Balcus, t'es toujours là toi?
I thank you for the invitation to your camp. It's, well appointed, not too crowded, perfect for thinking. And I've been doing just that.
Tu réfléchis à quoi?
It's about Wulbrin. We know he's been taken to Moonrise Towers, and we know I'm going to save him. The problem is this. A preponderance of evidence that I am a terrible adventurer. I'm not sure I should trust Wulbrin's fate to, well, me.
Je dois aller autour de Haute-Lune, je peux en profiter pour chercher Wulbrin si vous voulez.
You've done so much already. I'm hesitant to prevail upon you again, but I can't risk recapture. I barely escaped last time. You'd do it then. You'd look for him.
Oui, je peux aller le chercher, oui.
That's very decent of you. Thank you. There's something else you should know. Something I can no longer ignore. I know you've learned about the gnome's pursuit of rune powder, but do you know what it truly is?
À part que c'est un puissant explosif, pas grand-chose.
Until very recently, I thought rune powder was a myth. A substance so powerful it could fell a city. A nation. The Iron Hand gnomes have proven the impossible. Rune powder is real, and they have it in their possession.
Que compte-t-il en faire?
Destruction. The only thing it's good for. But destruction of what? Well, I'm hoping Wulbrin will be able to tell us. I shouldn't have let him drift away. Shouldn't have let that lot get their claws into him. Now more than ever, I need to find him. We need to find him. He's the only one I might be able to speak to sensibly.
Je vais retrouver votre ami et ensemble nous arrêterons les gnomes de main de fer.
I'd kiss you, but neither of us deserve that. Thank you.
Ouais. Allez. Bon, tout le monde, on est dans un état pitoyable. Là, l'autre, il a des cordes qui ont poussé sur la tête et sans déconner. Et je vais aller le voir, il doit pas avoir le moral. Hein. Alors, ça va, Will? Le col nu?
God's damn her straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it.
Warlock pacts tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them. Will was lucky he didn't face a more severe punishment.
Vous m'avez dit que Raphaël était dangereux et dans le même temps vous avez conclu un pacte avec Misola. Et quel hypocrite!
I deserve that. Consider me properly shamed. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast.
Bon, vous ferez bien de trouver le moyen de résilier ce pacte.
A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to.
Bon. On pourrait pas l'attaquer dès qu'elle apparaîtra, la prochaine fois qu'elle viendra.
We can have all for it, but it won't so much as chip one of her nailed claws. She'll escape to the hells, and if we succeeded, my life would be taken in exchange. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads.
Bon. Si c'est le cas, je redoute juste ce qu'elle nous fera subir ensuite.
I'm so sorry to give you another reason to sleep restlessly, but it's my burden to bear. She won't touch you unless there's something there for her to take. Don't give her so much as an inkling there might be.
Ok. Bon. Moi j'en ai marre, je veux dormir là. Allez, bonne nuit tout le monde. Wesh. Qui l'a le chien? Qui l'a mon gratouille?
Wags his tail, a small bag clenched between his teeth.
Ouais, donne-moi ça mon gros.
He gives in and surrenders his find to you.
Eh bien mon chien, t'es un bon gratouille.
Scratch's tongue lolls out happily, his tail wagging even faster.
Bon allez, on s'en va. Bon. On a pris le monte-charge. Ça nous a mené où encore ce truc? Moi qui pensais qu'on allait à la surface. Des plaques.
We offer ourselves to the darkness, that blessed Shah may give us her mercy.
Une malle d'expédition de l'absolu. Wow, ouvre ça, Starion.
Let's crack it open.
Des torches, des potions, extrait de résistance au feu. Ouais,
No time to rest.
c'est pas mal, c'est pas mal. Une plaque.
We offer our pain to the Lady of Loss, that she may truly know her faithful. We offer our prayers to the Dark Lady, whose comfort and grace heals all.
La Lady Charles, elle rigole pas, hein. C'est qui ça là-bas? Bonjour, le voyageur fatigué.
Who there, wanderer? Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
Elminster?
The very same, Gale. And a fair bit miffed he is, too, finding himself forced to expose his best pair of boots to so many miles of country road on your behalf.
Si vous nous plaisantiez, Gale.
Meet Elminster Ormar. A good friend of mine, but rather more significantly, he's the most famed and respected wizard in the realms.
Am I, indeed? Most famed and respected errand boy, more like. I was bid to spare neither time nor my own self to find you. She sent me, Gale. You know of whom I speak.
But why? Out with it, Elminster. Please.
Young man, has your sojourn away from Bortity washed away your decorum as well as your patience? Nigh a 10-day I've gone without honest fare, worthy of the name, drank naught, but what the sky entitled my thirst. Why, some bread, cheese, and a cup of wine would appear unto me a feast. Surely you would begrudge me a mite of rest and repast before I get out with it?
Mais oui, Gale, enfin, vous oubliez toutes vos manières.
Oh, for the love of...
This way To your camp. Oh, don't dawdle now, lad. You're the one who's in such a frightful hurry.
Oh, nigh on 13 centuries old and he still thinks with his stomach. We'd best follow and see if he's more disposed to speak plainly once it's stopped its grumbling.
D'accord, j'imagine que je suis aussi curieux que vous de savoir ce qu'il a à dire.
Wise choice. Better to indulge your curiosity than Elminster's appetite.
Yes, what a delightful wedge of old Arthurian that was. Doesn't do to parley on an empty stomach, you know. Makes one's words frivolous when they should be grave. Plenty to digest, after all. A good deal to stew over, if you will. Words ladled with import should be savored so as to better absorb their meaning. Wouldn't you agree?
Elminster!
Right. You see,
Quanta kusha!
that is to say, Gale, my boy, I've come to address a most pressing matter. I'll speak as plainly as I can, forswearing the accustomed frills that decorate my speech. I'm here on behalf of Mystra. The message and the charge I bring you are hers.
Vous avez été envoyé jusqu'ici en tant que messager d'une déesse.
Oh, Mistra's delicate feet are ill-suited for the hardships of the road.
You know where you went wrong, Gale. And I trust you told your fellow traveler here the nature of your ills.
I can't say that so far I've volunteered the entire truth.
Do you mean to say you've never bothered to disclose how dangerous you are?
Not in so many words. No.
Then you two have much to discuss after I'll have taken my leave. In short, Gale, through his own doing, has become a living explosive that could wipe from this world this very gathering, and much more besides. For his folly, Mystra forsook him. But now, she has decreed he is to be given a chance of redemption.
Mystra would consider forgiveness.
She would consider what she considers to be forgiveness. Mystra is aware of the misadventures that have befallen you both. She knows of your strife with the Absolute, that most insidious of evils.
Si Mystra a conscience de ce qui se passe, j'avoue, je dirais pas non à une intervention divine. Hein.
The very purpose of my presence, in a roundabout sort of way. You must know that the Absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It threatens all who live, even those who are undying. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself. That is why I have come here to charge you, Gale, with its destruction. It is Mistra's belief that only you can.
Gale tout seul, comment ça?
The orb.
Precisely. That which renders him so dangerous is an orb of Netherese origin that is buried within his chest. And that, Gale, is how we arrive at the heart of my directive. Mystra has granted me the power to stop the clock, as it were, on the orb's rush to overpower you. Instead, you will be able to unleash its lethal combustion at will.
Interesting. This could be help, or hindrance. We shall have to see.
You must find the heart of the Absolute, whatever that may be, and Use yourself as the catalyst that will burn it from this world.
Mais c'est monstrueux, vous lui demandez de se suicider.
He is not. But it seems that Mystra is.
It brings me no pleasure saying this, my friend. But such is Mystra's will. Yours must be the sacrifice that will undo the absolute. And for your sacrifice, you will be redeemed. Such is Mystra's promise. With that, I've said my sorry piece. And need only bestow unto thee the charm I was bid. Mistrarium Italior Thras Annas It is done. Both charge and charm have been committed into your care. To you, I commit into care Gale himself. I count on you to shepherd him well on this strangest of journeys.
Je vous en donne ma parole.
On my honor, I'm not sure yet I can say the same.
Like moons make swell and wane the nescient seas, so too the sky-strewn gods ordain the tidal fates of mortal days. And yet, an ocean born in lonely hours, come ebb, come flow, come all that is beyond the breadth of our dominion. Be a moon unto yourself. Even the waves of fate can break upon the shores of will. Farewell, my friend.
Farewell, Elminster. I'm glad she chose you.
Ah bah quel bordel, il va falloir qu'on discute un petit peu, Gale, hein. Ça a dû te le muer tout ça. Donc, parce que entre toi qui est devenu un piège pour l'absolu et Will qui se le trouve avec une tête de loté, c'est pas la joie dans les campements. Hein.
An audience with Elminster is never less than memorable. Suppose it's time we dealt with the Hollyphant in the room. You have questions for me? I promise I have answers.
Quel est cet orbe dont Elminster parlait? Hein?
Ah. Well, that's a rather long and complicated story. And what one might call a wizard prodigy. Who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mystra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time, she became my muse. And later, even my lover.
Seriez-vous en train de me dire que vous avez fait l'amour à une déesse? Or que tal?
Oh, yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mystra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries.
Vous pensiez en savoir plus que Mystra pour ce qui est de la magie? Vous êtes plus stupide que je ne l'aurais cru.
Quite. I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. we come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale?
Les détails peuvent attendre, va au fait.
Suffice it to say, I obtained an obscure and ancient book that had locked away inside a much coveted prize. It was a fragment of primal weave locked out of time, locked away from Mystra herself. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess? I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mystra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book bound and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
Comment se fait-il que vous soyez encore en vie?
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however.
Continuez.
I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep. Fortunately, this need no longer be a concern. Not until I meet the heart of the Absolute, whatever that is.
D'accord, et c'est pour ça que t'étais un vrai aspirateur à pognon là et que tu nous as bouffé des objets magiques. C'était pour nourrir ta malédiction. Ah ben nous voilà bien. Allez. Maintenant je vais parler à la face de boucle là. Will, tu veux qu'on discute?
There's something I need to say. Something important. Can you spare a moment?
Ah, bien sûr, je suis venu là pour ça. Hein. Qu'est-ce qui te tracasse, Will?
First a parasite prods at our heads, then the shadows close in. More than ever, we need each other's trust. And I fear I've been less than honest.
Ah, il faut du temps pour bâtir la confiance et j'en suis conscient.
You're incredibly kind, but you earned the right to hear this long ago. The man I call father is Older Ravengard, a Grand Duke of Baldur's Gate.
Grand Duke Ravengard, one of Baldur's Gate's most influential and beloved figures. Every Baldurian knows his name.
I should have said sooner, but our relation was no matter of pride, not least for him.
Ouais. Curieux, je m'étais laissé dire que le fils du duc Garde-Corbeau avait quitté la cité.
You heard right. My father and I were close once upon a time, until he disowned me and cast me out of Baldur's Gate.
Vous avez été renié. J'imagine que vous ne m'avez pas tout dit.
There is, but my pact forbids me from telling it. I'm sorry.
Rien n'a changé en ce qui me concerne.
You still deserve to know. There is more to me than infernal power and pacts. My story is one of two men. The Blade of Frontiers, a man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast. And Will Ravengard, a memory of a memory. A man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind.
Ouais. Qu'est-ce que ça fait d'être le fils d'un grand-duc?
Not so enchanting as you'd think. The Portiers, the Caldwells, they were the blue bloods hosting the fancy balls and drinking from gold goblets. Father's the son of a blacksmith, born with barely a coin in the coffers. He made a name for himself among the Flaming Fist, brave as Baldurin, stubborn as a deep Rothay, daring, outspoken, but hardly posh. I spent more time dueling with Father than I did rubbing elbows with lords. Not to say I didn't develop a taste for good wine and the talent for courtly dance.
Ah. Le bon vin, buvons ça.
Hear, hear. Though, truth be told, I'd sooner down a week-old hooch at a ramshackle inn. Better company, and a better buzz.
Bon. Qu'est-ce que ça fait d'être un diable?
It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck. Not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see?
Je vois l'épée des confins, ni plus ni moins.
It's because you know the heart lurking under the horns. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again.
Bon. Comment vous êtes-vous retrouvé mêlé à cette histoire avec Misola?
Ah, the one little question that put me out of house and home. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word.
Bon. Lui, il est transformé en diable. Là, tu es transformé en bombe. Que faire? Continuer d'avancer, essayer d'aider Will. S'il en est arrivé là, c'est tout simplement parce que on est parti bille en tête contre l'absolu et que je l'ai pas écouté. Quand il me disait que sur la côte des épées, il devait chasser une diablesse. Peut-être que si on ramène la tête de cette diablesse, Mizora lui redonnera son apparence naturelle et sera plus magnanime. Bon, comme on dit, la nuit porte conseil.